Welcome back to my channel Techno Trend Zone. Today we're diving into something that is going to completely blow your mind, the Sony A7 V leaks. Yes, you heard that right. The Sony A7 V specs have just surfaced, and they are so outrageous that at first glance, I honestly thought it was a hoax or some fan-made wish list. But no, these leaks are making the rounds from reliable industry insiders, and if they turn out to be true, we are looking at what could easily become the most game-changing mirrorless camera release of the entire decade. Sony is no stranger to shaking up the camera industry. From the groundbreaking A7 series that redefined full-frame affordability to the professional-grade A1 that set new benchmarks, the company has been at the forefront of pushing imaging technology further than we ever imagined. But this time, with the A7 V, Sony may have outdone even itself. The leaked specifications are so bold, so forward-thinking, that they could cause a serious shake-up for competitors like Canon, Nikon, Fujifilm, and even Panasonic. In this breakdown, I'll cover every rumored detail: the jaw-dropping sensor upgrades, the astonishing burst speeds, the next-generation autofocus powered by AI, the video specs that could make filmmakers drool, the overheating fixes everyone has been begging for, the stabilization improvements, and of course, the expected release date and price point. By the end, you'll understand why this camera isn't just another update. It might redefine what we should expect from a mainstream full-frame camera in 2025 and beyond. The sensor. Sony goes nuclear. The heart of any camera is its sensor, and this is where Sony has allegedly gone absolutely nuclear. According to multiple insider reports, the A7 V could debut with a 44-megapixel full-frame sensor. That's right, 44 MP in what is technically a mainstream full-frame body. This instantly puts it in the league of higher-end, far more expensive bodies, giving professionals and enthusiasts an insane level of detail and cropping flexibility. Think about it, 44 megapixels means photographers could crop in tighter than ever before while still retaining image quality suitable for massive prints, magazine covers, or billboard-level work. For wedding photographers, portrait shooters, and landscape enthusiasts, this is a dream come true, but the plot thickens. Some rumors hint that Sony may offer an alternative 33-megapixel stacked sensor option. Why? Because a stacked design allows lightning-fast readout speeds, drastically improving rolling shutter, low-light performance, and burst capabilities. Essentially, Sony could be offering two sensor flavors, one built for maximum resolution and detail, the other optimized for speed and performance. This dual-sensor rumor, if true, would be revolutionary. No mainstream mirrorless camera has ever been hinted at with such a versatile approach. It would let Sony target two different audiences, those who crave megapixels and those who need speed, without releasing two separate models. Burst shooting beyond expectations. Now let's talk about speed. If you thought the A7 IV's 10 frames per second burst was respectable, get ready. The A7 V is rumored to deliver a blazing 20 frames per second continuous shooting. To put that in perspective, we're talking about doubling the burst rate of its predecessor. Imagine sports photographers capturing the split second when a football leaves a quarterback's hand, or wildlife shooters freezing the exact instant a bird takes flight. 20 FPS means near-perfect coverage of fast, unpredictable action. Combine that with the stacked sensor rumors, and you've got not just raw speed but also minimal rolling shutter distortion, something videographers and hybrid shooters will deeply appreciate. The body and ergonomics. Borrowing from the premium line, one of the biggest complaints about earlier A7 bodies was their sometimes cramped or fiddly button layouts. According to the leaks, Sony has listened. The A7 V could borrow its body design and screen layout from the premium Sony A1/A9 series, which means improved ergonomics, better grip, and more intuitive controls. This might not sound exciting on paper, but for professionals shooting long weddings, sports events, or commercial gigs, comfort and usability can make or break a camera. The new design will likely make the A7 V feel much more like a pro-level tool than just a mid-range option. The viewfinder upgrade. Clarity like never before. Another exciting detail is the upgraded electronic viewfinder. Rumors suggest a 5 million EVF, a serious step up from previous generations. This means what you see in the viewfinder will look incredibly lifelike, with stunning clarity and accuracy. For photographers who've struggled with EVFs that sometimes look grainy or laggy, this could finally bridge the gap between optical and electronic viewing experiences. For many, this will be the moment EVFs truly feel natural. Next-gen autofocus. AI takes over. Here's where things get futuristic. The Sony A7 V is expected to debut AI-powered autofocus unlike anything we've seen in this price bracket. Leveraging Sony's newest AI processors, the A7 V could offer not only face and eye detection but also subject recognition, intelligent framing, and predictive tracking. Imagine pointing your camera at a person, and the camera not only nails the eye focus but also suggests a composition adjustment for a more flattering portrait. Or think about tracking a moving animal through chaotic, low-light conditions. The A7 V's AI could make sure it never loses the subject. Video capabilities. The game-changer: most cameras that offer high frame rate recording at 4K apply heavy cropping, which limits your field of view and creative options. But Sony may have cracked the code, delivering high frame rates while retaining the full sensor readout. If this proves true, filmmakers could shoot buttery smooth slow motion without compromising their wide-angle lenses or image quality. Even better, Sony appears to have dramatically improved heat management. Overheating has been a recurring nightmare for hybrid shooters, especially with extended 4K recording sessions. The A7 May 5th finally solved this, allowing event videographers, wedding filmmakers, and content creators to record for hours without interruption. Stabilization. Handheld dream: Sony is already known for strong in-body image stabilization, but the A7 V is rumored to take things further. Expect 6 to 7 stops of stabilization. Compared to the A74's already impressive 5.5 stops, this level of stabilization could make handheld shooting in near darkness possible and transform video recording. Walking shots that once demanded a gimbal may soon be perfectly smooth handheld. For travel vloggers, documentary filmmakers, and handheld shooters, this could be a total game changer. Release timeline. Patience required. Here's where things get a little surprising. Initial expectations had many predicting an early 2025 release. But updated insider chatter points to late 2025 or even early 2026. Why the delay? Most likely, Sony wants to perfect these ambitious features. AI autofocus, heat management, stacked sensors, these aren't small tweaks, they're massive leaps. Sony likely doesn't want to risk buggy firmware or performance hiccups at launch. Instead, they may take the extra time to ensure the A7 V is flawless out of the box. This patience signals confidence. Sony clearly believes their current A7 IV is strong enough to hold the line while they polish the A7 V into something extraordinary. Pricing. The shock factor. Now, let's talk money. Based on leaks, the Sony A7 V could launch at around $3,000. That might sound steep, but let's put it in perspective. For $3,000, you could be getting a 44MP or stacked 33MP full-frame sensor, 20fps burst shooting, 4K 120 frames per second with no crop, AI-powered autofocus, advanced heat management, 6-7 stops of Ibiza pro-grade body design. This undercuts the Sony A1, which costs over $6,000, by a huge margin while offering features that in some areas come shockingly close. For professionals, that's unbeatable value. For enthusiasts, it's a gateway into a level of performance that was once reserved for the elite. What does all this mean for the industry? In short, the A7 V could blur the line between mainstream and flagship cameras like never before. Sony appears to be funneling its top-tier tech into more affordable bodies faster than anyone expected, which will put immense pressure on rivals.